Oh, yang reserve ya. So, saya berada dekat sini. Boleh termasuk dalam waiting yang ada.
Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Adnan bin Tengku Mansur, accompanied by the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur, Datuk Seri Ahmad Faisal bin Haji Talib. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with this afternoon's event, I'd like to invite Encik Muhammad Ashraf for the prayer recital.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam satu Malaysia. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma ya Rahmanu ya Rahim. Di majlis pelancaran Pelan Induk Pelancongan Kuala Lumpur yang akan disempurnakan oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Adnan bin Tengku Mansur, Menteri Wilayah Persekutuan, pada petang yang bermakna ini. Kami memanjatkan kesyukuran Hadratmu ya Allah di atas limpah rahmat dan nikmat keamanan, kemakmuran, keharmonian rakyat dan pembangunan negara yang tercipta ini ya Allah. Allahumma ya Hayyu ya Qayyum. Kami juga memohon kepadamu ya Allah agar pelan tambah nilai pembangunan industri pelancongan Kuala Lumpur ini bukan sahaja dapat memeriahkan lagi ibu kota, bahkan juga menjadi produk utama menjana ekonomi yang berdaya maju bagi Kuala Lumpur dan negara aknya sebagai destinasi pelancong yang utama dan terkenal di peringkat antarabangsa, seterusnya menjulang nama negara di mata dunia ini ya Allah. Birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin wa alihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Salam satu Malaysia and a very good afternoon to you all. In 2013, Kuala Lumpur City Hall invited a host of international strategy consultants to pitch for the task to develop a long-term strategic plan for developing the tourism industry in Kuala Lumpur. After much deliberation, the task was eventually awarded to Roland Berger Strategy Consultants. Their efforts have culminated in the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015-2025, a blueprint for the growth and development of the industry over the next decade and beyond. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur, the man whose idea it was to have a tourism master plan in the first place, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Ahmad Faisal bin Haji Talib, to deliver his address.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Adnan bin Tengku Mansur, Minister of Federal Territories, Yang Mulia Tengku Datuk Seri Iskandar bin Tengku Tan Sri Abdullah, Co-Chairman Kuala Lumpur Tourism Development Council, Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, Yang Berhormat Members of Parliament, Advisory Board Members City of Kuala Lumpur, Council Members, Sri Datuk Sri, Datuk Datin, Member of the Media, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation to Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Adnan bin Tengku Mansur, Minister of Federal Territories, who has made the time today to launch the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015-2025. We are seeing record numbers of visitors growing on a yearly basis. They are spending more and discovering the city more. Our overall visitation has increased by 18% over the last 10 years. The number of international visitors increased from 7 million in 2004 to 8.6 million in 2007, 8.9 million in 2010 to 9 million in 2013. In tandem with the growth in arrivals, the tourism receipt earned by Kuala Lumpur has increased from Ringgit Malaysia 7.3 billion in 2004 to 10.9 billion in 2007. In 2010, the tourism receipts earned was 13.7 Ringgit Malaysia billion, and it continued to increase to 18.6 billion in 2013. The big jump in 2013 was due to the longer average length of stay and increased spending among our visitors. Not only have we seen record growth in visitor numbers, Kuala Lumpur has also earned various international tourism, including Asia's leading city destination 2011 by World Tourism Awards, 6th most visited city in the world by Euromonitor International's Top City Destinations ranking 2012, 4th best shopping city in the world in 2013 by CNN, 2nd best shopping destination in Asia Pacific in 2012 by Economist Intelligence Unit's Global Shoppers Index, 8th most popular convention city in APAC, and the 31st globally in 2012 by International Congress and Convention Association, 8th best skyline ranking in the world by the Telegraph World's Best Skyline ranking 2013, and we are also in line to be named as one of the new 7 wonders city of the world. I believe much of the success has resulted from highly organized partnerships and engagements among the local and federal government, communities, and private sector. Well done. Thank you very much for your participation in this meeting. We hope we can do something to make Kuala Lumpur a very vibrant and dynamic city for this region and for the world as a whole. As the local government, Kuala Lumpur City Hall has the mandate to plan for, impact upon, improve and monitor tourism development. We provide them core utilities and infrastructure on which the tourism industry is based on. This includes roads, lighting, public transport system, signage, and many others. We also have a role to play in the operation of attractions such as museums, art galleries, shopping malls, convention centers, parks, garden, events, tours, and we have a specific and targeted strategy for promoting tourism. This has led us to create the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015-2025. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015-2025 is about giving guidance to our fledgling tourism industry. It is a blueprint to grow our tourism industry and articulate 10-year strategic agenda and action plan which was prepared by the expert in both public and private sectors. The intention is to get both sectors be involved in its implementation. The planners have attempted to find a convergence of the interests of all players. Their aim has been to articulate the industry interests clearly, not only to guide the tourism sector itself, but also to explain to others where tourism is heading over the next 10 years. This master plan has identified and developed strategic directions and an action plan for the tourism sector as a guide for both the immediate and the long-term growth and to guide investment to support the sector to achieve specified objectives. By preparing the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan, we hope to encourage innovation and allow existing tourism operators and potential investors to identify business ventures within the framework of the master plan. It also addresses human resource constraints and creates opportunities for our people and entrepreneurs in the sector. This master plan also provides a strategic framework to position Kuala Lumpur as an emerging tourism industry in Asia, offering uniquely branded, mass experience and value for money products to our domestic and international market. A structured approach was undertaken by Roland Berger to formulate the master plan. Inputs and comments from more than 150 stakeholders were obtained through workshops and interview. Issues, challenges, new opportunities, and 200 ideas were identified. On this note, I would like to express my appreciation to all individuals who have made valuable contributions to the preparation of master plan for Kuala Lumpur. Despite the completion of the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan in December 2013, we decided not to launch. Instead, we worked the plan to ensure it is a workable document. Throughout 2014, we launched it with WIN initiatives, enhancing city cultural experience by introducing MAT, our story of Kuala Lumpur. Thank you very much for Datin Sri Jacqueline at the back of this hall. Introduce KL MySbook, taxi booking terminals, KL Tourism Ambassador Program, and introduce KL Food Trail, including the appointment of Chef Norman Musa as our KL Food Ambassador in the UK market. We also appointed a visit KL marketing representative for France and special markets. Most recently, we launched the KL Tourist Guidebook to facilitate tourist guides. Based on the quick win implementation, I am confident that the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan is actionable, and with the official launch of the KL Tourism Master Plan 2015 will be the key transitional year for the KL tourism industry. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as a closing remark, I would like to acknowledge the wonderful support and cooperation received from the Bank Negara staffs and team of organizers within Kuala Lumpur City Hall and the Roland Berger Strategic Consultant for their hard work and dedication to ensure the success of this important launch event. And a special thanks to Mr. Ignacy Didilas, Deputy General Manager Tourism Barcelona, and the President of European Cities Marketing, who was specially flown from Barcelona to share his knowledge with us on the importance of a city tourism master plan. And we hope this master plan can really transform Kuala Lumpur to be a tourist destination for this region. And we hope that with the master plan, we can get very, very close cooperation from the active players in this sector. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Ahmad Faisal bin Haji Talib, Mayor of Kuala Lumpur. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite the Minister of Federal Territories, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Adnan bin Tengku Mansur, to deliver his address. Dipersilakan, Yang Berhormat.
Sri Haji Ahmad bin Haji Ahmad Faisal bin Talib, Mayor Kuala Lumpur. Yang Mulia Tengku Datuk Seri Iskandar bin Tengku Tan Sri Abdullah, Chairman Kuala Lumpur Tourism Development Board, Yang Berhormat Saudara Lim Datuk Sekambut, Yang Berhormat Yang Chua daripada Batu, dan Yang Berhormat Dr. Tan daripada Tepung. These are all our MPs in Kuala Lumpur who can manage to attend this. Yang hadir, bekas Datuk Bandar, Datuk Roslin, Datuk Sri Roslin, Datuk Sri Hakim yang hadir di sini juga. Dan kawan-kawan saya lah, Tan Sri Dojo, Tan Sri Uzani, Tan Sri Effendi di belakang lagi. Ini semua the players with whom we can bring Kuala Lumpur up to its mark. Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, Dr. Victor Wee, who used to be my KSU before when I was Minister of Tourism. Ini semua ada nostalgia, that's why I mentioned the name. Datuk Muhammad Ibrahim, Deputy Governor Bank Negara, who owns this place. And then members of the DBKL tourism, tourism board, whatever you call it. And then Timbalan, Ketua Diusaha Dewan Kuala Lumpur, Kepala KP yang hadir, ahli jemaah, penasihat Bandaraya yang hadir, saudara sekalian, all industry players, Datuk Sri, Puan Sri Jacqueline, sorry, I know you're with your husband there. And all of you, Datuk, Puan, media, and our guests, Excellencies, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam satu Malaysia, salam wilayah ku ceria. You know, people say why I choose wilayah ku ceria. Last year I chose wilayah ceria. This year I've chosen for theme for Hari Wilayah or Wilayah Day, wilayah ku ceria. The reason why I want you people to be ceria is because when I drive around or when I do my walks, when I walk the street, I see Kuala Lumpurian, people from wilayah, their faces. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu, you very sour, very upset, very tense, very angry. I don't understand why. I mean, we've got a nice nation. For the last 57 years, this nation with the present leadership and the present government, we've built a good nation, a stable nation, and a nation all of us Malaysians should be proud of. And we've been a nice city. And I would like to say thank you especially to my former boss, which is Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who has put Twin Tower in Kuala Lumpur. When he wanted to put Twin Tower before, it's not because Mughal is here. No. Before he wanted to put Twin Tower, there's a lot of criticism. It's only because of the Twin Tower at this present moment that people come and visit Kuala Lumpur. All of us never realize. And I'm very happy with what Datuk Sri Ahmad Rizal is trying to do. To have a master plan for Kuala Lumpur. You can ask the Deputy Director General of Tourism, Dr. Rizal, is with me today. He used to be with me when I was a minister before. To sell Malaysia is very tough. If you compare Malaysia with Indonesia, with Thailand, with Philippines, what more the cities? It's not easy. That's the reason why today we invited all of you, industry players, please assist us. Assist the city mayor, assist the city in order for us to be able to promote Malaysia as a destination, because tourist money is an important sector for our country. Ini yang kadang-kadang, this is sometimes we kadang-kadang kita lupa. And I always tell Azizan and the KP, you know, what I'm saying is actually mesti dengan lidah. Kalau bahasa Melayu tahu lah kan. Yang bukan Melayu tak faham, tak apalah. Mesti dengan lidah je. You are Dr. Terbitan. You see, our service sectors is not going from worse to better. It's from worse becoming worse. I walk the streets of Petaling Street. It's supposed to be Chinatown. Today is what town? You ask yourself. There's no more Chinatown. It's Bangladeshi town, Nepalese town. The problem is, it is us, the Malaysians. Firstly, we are not a thinking party. Secondly, we just get license and we like to maybe sell the license or rent the license so that all of us can become taukies. I just would like to ask all of you, please, when you meet the people, tell them that there's no shortcut to anything. All of us need to work hard in order for us to achieve. And especially my friends, the 4 MPs here, I need your help as well. It is in your kawasan where we need to tell our people. Some blame us, and all the time that the Bandar be blamed, I be blamed, the government be blamed. Actually, if you know the amount or the rental amount which we give to these people who rent from us in Petaling Street, you think there are something wrong with them? Or there's something wrong with us when they rent, we rent it out. So these are some of the problems which I foresee and I see. If we don't do some changes, whatever we have, a big plan, we will not be able to achieve unless we ourselves need to change our thinking, our mind. We need to think out of the box. We need to go beyond in order for us to attract people to come to this city. I'm glad at this present moment, I'm speaking to all of you from my heart. There's a written note here. They asked me to read. I'm not reading this because I like to speak to you from my heart. Some of you might like it, some of you might not like it. But as the Minister of Philadelphia, I would like to see that this city grow. Because once this industry grow, we can provide more jobs, more opportunities for our people. At this present moment, we are creating a lot of jobs in this industry, but some of the jobs are being taken by our foreign friends. And I think this must be stopped. All of us in Kuala Lumpur, if we are customers, I can tell you, I go to only one seafood restaurant today. I refuse to go to the other seafood restaurant called Uni and all the rest. I only go to one seafood. It's just been opened. Because what? These guys who operate this, all the waiter and waitresses, plus the cook and people operating it are Malaysians. And I support it because they're giving jobs to my citizens. That's the reason why. And they serve good food. You should try it. And it's not expensive. And if you go to Unique, you can see Bangladeshi serves you. Only the captain, the Chinese lady. The rest are all Nepalese. When you speak to them in the Malay, they look at you. We thought they're Malays. They're Nepalese, Indonesians. I mean, this cannot be going on in the city. I know we have a lot of problems in getting people to work. But if you pay them well, I believe they will work. The problem with us, we like not to pay our own people well, especially the people in industry players. We prefer to get people from Indonesia, even Thai, or Philippines, to work in your hotels, restaurants, and so on. I think these need to be changed. If we don't change this, whatever we're doing, the end result, as a businessman before, I always look at my ROI, and the end result we are not gaining. The foreigners will be gaining. How much money are they sending overseas? So, I was talking to that just now. I'm worried about the currency. I'm worried about our prices. I was talking. Because I care for this nation. People can talk anything about this government, but please remember, this government has served you for the last 57 years. And we've given you unity in diversity. We have given you strength. We have given you security. The key thing for all of us is security. Whatever you do, we need security. We are aware that we had problems, security problems before, until I've got to speak to the Minister of Home Affairs to put more big base and to create presence of policemen in order for whatever is happening, snatch thieves and so on, would not happen, because it would create fear to the people who try to do snatch thief or whatever they would like to do. So I can ask you people, ladies and gentlemen, please help us. We can provide whatever we can provide in order for you to have all services we'd like to do. And the main key thing is for you to come forward and tell us what you want us to do. Because the city, mayor, myself, we do not know anything. We want to know from you what you like us to do, what you want us to do. As I already said, yes, for the last 57 years, we've governed Malaysia. But we are not a perfect government. You cannot find a perfect government in the whole world. We have our flaws. But we are willing to change. The present leadership of Yang Muhammad Dato' Sri Muhammad Najib is willing to change. He would like us to move forward, not to go backward. So it's all left in your hands to tell us what. And then as a Minister of Tourism, as a Minister of as a Minister of Other Territory, I would do my level best for all of you industrial players. We provide a lot of, this present woman I've told my Dato' Bandar, and I've appointed a very staunch lady, a very, very hard-headed lady, to head my licensing department, which is Dato' Norma. You know why I put her there? Because I've told them that we will license everyone. Even the budget hotel, we will license them. Then we will regulate. There is no point that you ask them, you don't license them, they still operate. And they operate illegally. And the city can't get money, can't get revenue. And towards the end, when things happen, the city will pay. So what we're going to do now is, she knows that what I've told her, that she will license everybody. And then we will regulate it. That's what we do. That's the best thing to do in order to provide the operators or people who like to do business. Because we know that some of you are using runners, and runners are overcharging you. At times we do not know, we don't even recognize those runners, and some of them are giving a bad name to my officers in Dewan, Bandaraya, Kuala Lumpur. These all must stop. And I'm doing this in order to provide a better service to all of you. You are our customer. You are our client. You employ us. So let us provide the best service to you. But in order for us to provide the best service to you, you please tell us what you want us to do. And please be reasonable. We do not want some people that say, look, I want to open 24 hours. And in the disco or the karaoke, people are taking drugs. People are doing all sorts of nonsense. We want clean entertainment in the city. We understand what tourists want when they come, when they leave their home. But please provide clean entertainment. And for hotels, we will try to work with you, and we will try and promote as much as we can in order for you people, you as investors, put a lot of money to build a hotel so that you can get your return as fast as possible. So once again, I would like to thank Murata for tirelessly working very hard. And I believe that the team with Dr. Banda and all the teams I have will be able to provide you with a good service. And we're not saying that we do better, or we try to do better, but please correct us if we have made mistakes. As I said earlier, there's no government in this world is a perfect government. Give us a chance, and definitely we will be able to provide whatever your needs are. And once again, I would like to thank you, Dr. Mat Rizal, as the chairman of the Tourism Development Board Kuala Lumpur, and the co-chairman Tengku, that you have come up with a master plan for Kuala Lumpur until year 2025. I might not be around in the year 2025. Looking at my age, I might not be around, but I can only pray that whatever we do today is achievable, and also to see that this nation and all of us in this room and outside there will be proud of this. And I can only pray to God that whatever we do today will be blessed by Him. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Banda, and all of you who has taken time this afternoon to witness the official launch of the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015 to 2025. I can only say thank you very much. And dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya dengan segala hormat melancarkan Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat. Yang Berhormat, if I could request that you kindly remain standing for a little while. The Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan book. Now, to officiate it, I would request, Yang Berhormat, if you would kindly put your signature on the official plan. Master illusionist Dr. Mahdi Maudini, who will magically conjure up a copy of the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan book, and hopefully with a little help from our guest of honor as well. If we could have you standing, please. If the Honourable Minister would kindly write on the piece of paper, Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan. And now, Your Berhormat, you're requested, or you put it into the box. presentation on the Kuala Lumpur Tourism Master Plan 2015-2025. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to tell us more about the master plan, I would like to invite Mr. Vincent Casanova, Principal of Roland Berger Strategy Consultants, to deliver a presentation.
Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Tengku Anan Tengku Mansor, Minister of Federal Territories, Yang Mulia Tunku Datuk Seri Iskandar, Co-Chairman Kuala Lumpur Tourism Development Council, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, Members of Parliament, Tan Sri, Dato Sri, Dato Datin, present this master plan with you today. I only have 20 minutes and it's a very large book, but I will try to capture the essence of this master plan in this presentation. First of all, why an urban tourism master plan? Well, a tourism master plan provides a real strategic blueprint, a roadmap for tourism cities across the world. So Kuala Lumpur would not be the first city to have a tourism master plan. It addresses a number of issues, such as the positioning of the city, the challenges that it faces, what projects it needs to implement to make it effective, what impact it should have, how it should be implemented, and I'll insist a lot on this part in my presentation, and finally, what is the supporting framework, the investment and job opportunities it will create, the skills and knowledge it will bring, the visibility and the reputation it will create for Kuala Lumpur. As I mentioned earlier, many cities and some of the best tourism cities in the world have actually already implemented a master plan. We have here Mr. Delas, now a very successful example of why master plans are effective. But as you can see here, we also have London, Glasgow, and Vancouver, and the list is very long. It is a very useful tool to promote tourism in cities across the world. So why in KL? Right, one of the first tasks that we tackled when we started this exercise was to understand why does Kuala Lumpur need a master plan? In other words, what are the issues that the tourism industry is facing in Kuala Lumpur? I've captured a few here. You will see that tourists stay in average 3.1 nights in the city of Kuala Lumpur. If we look across the region, other capital cities are closer to 5 or 6 nights. So Kuala Lumpur is generally a shorter stay. Accessibility of tourists to key area remains a challenge, and you will see we tackle this in a master plan. The packaging and the marketing of tourism products must be improved. Some attractions and services, especially when it comes to maintenance, can also improve their standards. The budget hotels, which was tackled a little bit earlier, and the licensing topic. Finally, some other segments have not been fully tapped. I'm talking about medical tourism, MICE and business, education tourism, a lot of opportunity for the cities of Kuala Lumpur. And the frontliners. I think we mentioned a little bit earlier also about the importance of having high quality frontliners in all our tourism service providers. Right, so the master plan tends to be a comprehensive document. Throughout this exercise, along with Noraza and her team, we have tried to tackle every single segment of the tourism industry in Kuala Lumpur. As you can see, culture, shopping, MICE, entertainment, nature and adventure, medical, luxury, sports, and education. Every segment is covered in the document. But also, what are the enabling strategies in terms of infrastructure, promotion, travel agents, connectivity, human capital, and the list is long. One of the first tasks we did when developing this master plan is try to understand where do we want to be by 2025. And only drafting this vision, we had to consult more than 100 stakeholders to make sure we get the wording right, and we all work towards the same objective. KL to be the top-of-mind destination for exciting and diverse urban experiences delivered through world-class infrastructure and services. As you can see, it is a very ambitious objective, and this master plan really aims at getting all the means to reach that objective by 2025. Right, so as I mentioned earlier, it was not a lonely exercise, right? At Wallenberger, we worked very closely with DBKL, but we also consulted more than 150 stakeholders. I recognize a few faces here that supported us in that exercise. And as a result, 47 initiatives were carefully selected, drafted for inclusion in the master plan. In the interest of time, I'll try to be as fast as possible, but I'll try also to cover important topics. So the first one, culture, heritage, and places of interest. 6 initiatives to tackle this topic. I'll just take an example for each of them to show you how we plan to implement that master plan. We have developed food trails for Kuala Lumpur. They have been launched last year, and tourists will soon be able to identify them in some of the key areas. Those food trails are covering 4 areas for now, which is Brickfields, Old Kuala Lumpur, Jalan Arau, and Kampong Baru. We have signed off 40 participating outlets, which have been carefully selected by a number of criteria. And this program was launched in the WTM in London and also in Malaysia, and we've received a lot of support and positive feedback on this initiative. So you will soon be able to identify those food trails with a food trail gimmick or food trail sticker in the selected outlets. Right, the second, as was mentioned earlier by the Minister, shopping is a very important topic for Kuala Lumpur. As you know, we are the 4th shopping destination according to Kuala Lumpur, to CNN. I'll just take an example of an initiative which we tackled in the shopping segment. We will introduce this year KL Visit Pass. So it will be an all-encompassing tourist pass, giving access to all transportation, but also all attractions in Kuala Lumpur, as well as selected discounts in shoppings and restaurants. The objective is very much to provide hassle-free experience to all tourists willing to stay in Kuala Lumpur for more than 3 days. Let me move on to the next segment, entertainment. Also an important topic. Kuala Lumpur is also very popular for food and beverage and entertainment. How can we improve our position? 3 initiatives to drive it. I'll select one again. We will launch, hopefully, during the course of this year, the Kuala Lumpur food and beverage ratings, which are basically new ratings, gold and platinum, which will be awarded to restaurants on a voluntary basis. And they will be inspected on a list of carefully drafted criteria on which I've worked with my team and with DBK. Some of those criteria: hygiene, accessibility, marketing, customer service, etc., etc. Next segment, nature and adventure, also a very important topic for international tourists visiting Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur in particular. 4 initiatives to drive that segment. Again, I'll select one to show you that we really plan to go 3 feet on the ground for the implementation. We plan to further develop city parks as popular attractions. We conducted some survey with tourists visiting Kuala Lumpur, and there was a strong willingness to integrate more parks within the tourism experience in Kuala Lumpur. So along with the DBKL team, we will create a distinct positioning for each of the public parks in Kuala Lumpur, improve the maintenance and infrastructure, and create events to take place in the park specifically. So the parks will become destination of their own as part of the tourism strategy for Kuala Lumpur. Let me move on to the next topic, which is also an important segment, luxury and travel. Important because very fast revenue generator. 3 initiatives to drive it. One of them will be launched in the course of this year, which is the Kuala Lumpur heli tour. The idea is very much to offer heli tour for high spenders, but we are working also on other products and offerings specifically targeted at luxury travelers visiting our capital city. Next topic, sports, also a very important segment in the tourism industry worldwide, but in APAC. We have 1 initiative to drive it, and one of the main components of this initiative is to focus on attracting major international sports events in Kuala Lumpur. And the city should play a very important part in preparing for the bidding of those international events. So we will develop a clear strategy to select high-profile selected sports events and at least secure 3 to 5 by year 2025. Next topic, business and MICE, also a very important segment in APAC and in Southeast Asia in particular. 3 initiatives to drive that segment, and I've selected 1 initiative, which is to develop KL-focused MICE strategy and branding. The idea of this initiative is very much to review the Kuala Lumpur-specific incentives, make sure they are as competitive as the best-in-class in the region, develop a clear value proposition for Kuala Lumpur in collaboration with MICEP and with all the MICE operators, and also develop a city bidding strategy for some of the major MICE events. Next, medical and wellness. As I said, this is one of the segments that we expect to grow quite fast over the coming years. 4 initiatives to drive that segment. I selected 1, which is a little bit on the model of Penang, to set up a KL-focused medical tourism industry body made of all the major medical operators and Kuala Lumpur, in order to, again, review the incentives provided by the city, develop the value proposition, and develop a clear marketing strategy. Right? So we have already started on this initiative last month. Next, education. I'll try to stick to the time allocated. 3 initiatives to drive the education segment. One of the key initiatives that we plan to do, and this is based on the benchmarks that we have conducted, is to develop a strategic partnership with some of the key cities in APAC and in Europe in order to foster exchange for short exchange course program, but also for the youth exchange, and there is a number of reciprocal destination marketing that can be implemented specifically in the education segment. Right, all these initiatives, all these 9 segments will be effective on one condition, actually multiple conditions, I'll select one, is that we must have all the enablers in place. Right? So we paid a lot of attention, and you will see in the document, to all the enablers that we have in order to make those initiatives successful. Regulatory, quality and standard, promotion and industry collaboration, human capital, very important to train our frontliners, travel agents and tour operators. I've selected one here because it's already been launched, so it's tribute to the hard work of DVKL last year, which is to empower residents as promoting agent of Kuala Lumpur. About 2 months ago, we have launched the Kuala Lumpur Ambassador Program. So if now you go to some of the key attractions across Kuala Lumpur, you will recognize volunteer students. They wear a red vest, and they are here to provide information to all the tourists visiting the attraction. So it's on a voluntary basis. So it's citizens of Kuala Lumpur willing to promote their city. 50 of them have been deployed, and I'd like to thank them all to be part of that initiative, which we will continue rolling out in 2015. Infrastructure is also an important enabler, as well as transport, connectivity, and safety. We have launched a partnership with MyTaxi, which was mentioned a little bit earlier. So in 15 attractions in Kuala Lumpur, you will now have a MyTaxi kiosk, which the tourists will be able to use to call their taxi and to travel across the city of Kuala Lumpur. A very popular initiative with the tourists. Right. In terms of impact, as I mentioned earlier, 47 initiatives, we expect 79 billion in revenue, 60 million tourists by 2025, an additional 71,000 jobs, 4 billion investments will be required according to our latest estimate, most of it from private sources, an increased quality of tourism products and services, and finally, of course, improved landscaping for the city of Kuala Lumpur. The targets were mentioned earlier, so I won't spend too much time on it, but by 2025, 16 million tourists expected. The length of stay to increase by 2 days to 5.5 days, sorry. And finally, the average spend also to increase to 900 ringgit per night from a current 682. This will contribute to roughly an expected growth of 12.8% per year over the next 11 years for the tourism industry in Kuala Lumpur. The job creation, as I mentioned earlier, 71,000 additional job creation expected, most of it in F&B, retail, and accommodation. An important part, because we always try to emphasize this in this type of investment strategy, is that most of the funding will be from private sources, 67%, 2/3. And 80% will come from local sources. So it is a nice plan. We strongly believe in its workability. As was mentioned earlier, we have tested it. We've been working on its implementation already for a year. 9 quick wins have already been launched across the city of Kuala Lumpur, but we still believe that we need important factors for it to be successful. First, and that's why I think it's important to have everyone here today, close collaboration between public and private sector. We need to have a dedicated body to closely monitor the implementation of this plan. A strong engagement of all residents and resident associations, widespread marketing and communication, and finally collaboration with top cities around ASEAN in order to market not only Kuala Lumpur but also ASEAN as a destination. So I don't have a magician trick, but I think I finished after 20 minutes. And I'd like to end up with a personal note. I've been living in Kuala Lumpur for 10 years. I really love the city. We strongly believe that this plan is workable if everyone works together. And we strongly hope that we will all cooperate to make it a success. Thank you very much.
Kuala Lumpur. I've heard so much about it, and here I am. Let's see what KL has to offer with the Visit KL app. Let's start with some local breakfast. I really want to try some of that foamy beverage. The variety of food is simply incredible. So how about some culture now? A fantastic showcase of Kuala Lumpur's history and its culture. Now, let's explore KL. Whoa. This is where Malaysia declared its own independence. So much history. Oh, look! What beautiful wildlife and rainforest in the middle of the city. Time to check out more landmarks. The architecture of the Twin Towers is simply breathtaking. There is no better way to explore the city by hopping on the bus. KL is definitely a city with a soul. It's amazing how all those religions coexist together in one vibrant city. I am impressed. Let's explore the street life of KL. This place has a mixture of modern, kampong life and nature all in one city. Now, let's go shopping. Did I mention that KL is a shopping haven as well? There is just so much to buy. How to stop? I'll take it. Time to catch up with an old friend from KL over dinner. And now, let's paint the town retina. I don't want this fun to end. KL gets better and better. And now, time to relax. I still have so much to do, but it's time to head home. I really wish I could stay longer. It has been a fantastic journey. If there is one place you have to visit, Kuala Lumpur is definitely the place to be.
Welcome to
Kuala Lumpur. I'll be back soon, KL.